Today we're going to be talking about what's under the pyramid.
Hey, the pyramid is beginning to look like a anchor now.
Everybody's talking about the pyramid.
Yeah.
You might have heard about the Cofre project, SAR pyramid scanning results. A team of scientists from Italy have been using satellite scans, and they claim that they have evidence of underground structures and tunnel networks that are underneath the middle pyramid on the Giza Plateau, including 5 never-before-found chambers inside the pyramid at ground level that replicate exactly the King's Chamber in the Great Pyramid, 8 hollow cylindrical structures descending down into the earth for over 400 meters.
Can you feel the vibe?
Oh, JEJE.
You know it's JEJE vibe.
JEJE vibe.
Y'all feel the vibe.
I'm feeling it.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome to JEJE Vibe.
We're back.
You know I got the amazing, beautiful queen with me.
We're matching.
If you're new to the channel,
who
don't forget
says-
to hit the like and subscribe.
Who says matching with your boo ain't cool?
Man, you better see how cool we are with it. Swagoo. It's different.
Oh, swagu.
It's different. But we all have it. You have that. You have your style.
Shit.
And
We
we're here
humble.
for you.
We humble.
So if you're new, don't forget to hit the like. Today we're going to be talking about what's under the pyramid.
Hey, the pyramid is beginning to look like a anchor now.
Everybody's talking about the pyramid.
Yeah.
New discovery is shedding light on a mystery that dates back many millennia. Italian and Scottish researchers, mainly from the University of Pisa, conducted advanced high-frequency radar mapping under Egypt's famous pyramids. They claim to have discovered wells, caverns, and shafts that are more than 2,000 feet underground. If accurate, it changes the face of history as we know it.
What's underneath the pyramid?
They've been trying to figure out the pyramid for the longest.
The Giza necropolis, which consists of 3 great pyramids guarded by the Sphinx, is the last remaining of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. The original purpose of the complex is still debated by historians, as is the connection of the 3 pyramids to each other and to the Sphinx.
It's huge.
Mm-hmm.
And the question has always been there is like, who built this shit?
So how did they physically get the rock from here to the pyramid?
They built this enormous ramp. The great thing is that you can get half a dozen men and a lot of water, stick a stone on mud, and you can slide it like ice.
So they were rock haulers from way back.
Rock haulers and loving it, apparently, from what I can gather.
So what about this idea that these were slaves who had to work these quarries, that they weren't willing workers at all?
No, this is a work of passion, I think.
Who brought this shit here? How did it get here?
These mainstream theories about the Great Pyramid of Giza are nothing more than a weak hypothesis at best. Because when you take a second to really admire the sheer size of this monument, it really starts to make you question everything you've ever been taught about ancient history. Here's why. The Great Pyramid itself is made up of 2.3 million large limestone blocks, with the stones ranging in size from 2 tons all the way up to 80 tons. And despite looking quite small from a distance, when up close to these limestone blocks, you realize how massive they actually are. Many of these stones were taken directly out of the bedrock from the Giza Plateau, but some of the larger ones that make up the intricate interior, weighing up to 80 tons, were somehow transported from a town 500 miles south of Giza. Kinda crazy to think about, because even if the mainstream Egyptologists are correct that the pyramid was built 4,500 years ago, it would still predate the invention of the wheel by roughly 300 years.
The stones are too heavy for humans to carry.
Moving an 80-ton rock, even with today's technology, is no small feat. For instance, here's an image of a 30-ton construction vehicle attempting and failing to move a large limestone rock. And here's a video showing that even our most powerful hydraulic cranes struggle to lift rocks of this size. And those are steel cables, not the bullshit papyrus ropes the ancients supposedly used to drag these stones into place using wooden rollers and wet sand.
Now, Egyptologists will tell you that, oh, they could move heavy blocks because they put them on wet sand. Well, maybe if you're just at ground level, that will do. But when you're 350 feet above the ground, as you are in the King's Chamber, that won't do at all.
I'm just gonna make an educated guess and say that wooden rollers would stand zero chance of being placed under 80 tons of anything. Which leads me to the cuts on these stones. Every stone making up the pyramid was not glued into place using concrete or mortar or anything like you'd expect. In reality, each side was cut so precisely and placed so delicately that the joints between every stone making up the pyramid fit so perfectly together like Legos that you can't even fit a razor blade between them. Meaning that this structure has literally withstood the test of time using nothing but its own weight and precision-made cuts. Something you can't necessarily say for any of the 100 plus pyramids built by copycat pyramid builders for over 700 years after the Great Pyramid.
Is it us being naive, or I guess it's something of, we have to admit the naivety
of humans?
The fact that we don't know, and we're still all trying to figure out.
Yeah, and
that's we'll never know. But we're still trying to figure it out.
And there's nothing wrong in that.
And that's the beauty about.
Hey, this is planet Earth, anyways. Hey, we would leave something behind too that some newer generations won't be able to figure it out, and that's how it is, anyways.
So imagine a civilization before us, before the idea. Let's give it off our ancestors.
Whatever they built then worked for them.
Facts.
But what I would not accept when it comes to, I guess, I'll say the propaganda media machine now, what I would not accept is the fact that they now made it seem like the previous generation technology ain't a technology, that human beings were started from being ape-like
Facts.
to now being humans now. Ape-like in the sense that, what they used to learn to shoot is nothing but a bow and an arrow or a stick. Or they're now learning to turn on a fire or do this or do that, and human beings progress till that. Who told you so, really?
I think
because if you really think about it, technology has always existed side by side with humans.
Facts. I think we give ourselves too much credit. Like we think we're the first people that figured out machines could be efficient than humans.
Only the naive ones will feel that way.
The point is, just because you're not there to experience it doesn't mean it ain't it's beyond what you think.
Yeah. Hey, they probably have a better way of communicating than we did now. Shit. Their technology is probably fire. That y'all can still not figure it out.
You can't figure it out.
You look at the pyramid, this looks like bunch of rubbles. But each stone of the rubbles, human beings cannot even carry it.
Detail.
Let alone the angles of the pyramids now.
Detail.
And how they're built.
But there's also plenty of math behind one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. What makes it even more unique is that the Great Pyramid of Giza is the only known pyramid in Egypt with both descending and ascending inner passages.
Even as simple as it looks from the aerial view now, y'all still cannot figure it out.
Big facts. It's still hard for us humans to still put our mind around it. Like, how was this thing built?
The Great Pyramid is most accurately aligned structure in existence and faces true north with only 3/60th of a degree of error. The position of the North Pole moves over time, and the pyramid was exactly aligned at one time. But not only that, the Great Pyramid of Giza happens to be the center of landmass. The Great Pyramid is located at the center of the landmass of the Earth. The east or west parallel that crosses the most land, and the north or south meridian.
And now we're hearing that there's other structures underneath it.
And there could be not.
Facts.
Picture this. You're standing in front of the Pyramid of Khafre. The sun blazing overhead, the sand crunching under your feet. Somewhere beneath you, there's a hidden city, a whole underground world waiting to be uncovered. It's the kind of revelation that could rewrite history, or at the very least, fuel a dozen conspiracy theory YouTube channels. It started with a research team from Italy, Professor Corrado Malanga and his team from the University of Pisa. They're convinced they found something big.
This is a new technology. Now that's not like we're saying, oh, we don't believe in science.
Yeah, they said they were able to scan the pyramid and they could see through satellite, and then they could see several, I guess, different frequency of I would say mass density now. Yeah. And then you can say, okay, some part is red, some part is green, some part is yellow, and the red part can show that it's probably metal and this and this and this and that, and then boom, all of a sudden, it looks like we have like 8 underneath structure that has this, that has that had that, and this and this and that, when truly you haven't even seen it with your own eyes.
Facts.
Using radar pulses, they claim to have detected a vast underground complex, spiral staircases, mysterious chambers, and even a network of tunnels leading deeper into the earth. His team believes there are 8 distinct vertical cylinder-shaped artifacts that span more than 2,100 feet beneath the pyramids. And get this, they believe it might even contain the legendary Hall of Records, an ancient library rumored to hold the lost knowledge of Egyptian civilization. Basically, it's the holy grail of archaeology.
So, if the technology is there for us to be able to see what's underneath the ground, I'll commend it.
Hey, no, me on the other hand, I need to see this technology.
They say it's new. So we'll give them a chance to say, okay, maybe it's out there. Then we'll see how it goes.
Shit. But then again, you can say you have a new technology. You can say you discover something or whatever. At the end of the day, we will still consider it bogus because we don't know what the technology is. If you're coming with this, you gotta come with the technology that you're using.
According to their interpretation, 5 previously unknown chamber-like structures appear to lie within the pyramid itself. These chambers are said to connect to a system of pathways descending below the surface. Deeper still, the scans revealed 8 vast vertical formations, described as wells or shafts, stretching more than 6,500 feet across and descending over 2,000 feet underground. Spiral patterns within these structures have been interpreted as winding ramps or internal stairways. Below these shafts, the team identified 2 massive rectangular enclosures, each measuring approximately 260 feet across. According to their findings, each enclosure contains 4 additional shafts, extending downward from the surface of the structure, adding another layer to what they believe may be an immense subterranean complex. The radar signals were sent from 2 satellites over 400 miles above Earth and transformed into 3D models, forming what the team believes could be the outline of a vast hidden system beneath the plateau.
So I guess they come out publicly gave out some of their.
Yeah.
It's still a research.
Like a seminar.
So it's still a research. So we'll commend them. And we'll see how this whole thing play out. But I don't want us to be like, we're not saying it's real, but it could be. We're not disputing the fact that it could be. It could be that there are great structures that were created even
underneath it.
That we can't still put our minds around, like, oh, we're talking about this one that we see outside, and we can't see what's underneath. Like, these people built it down to the ground.
Ain't there something though?
It's crazy.
Let's play devil's advocate for a second. What if the Italian team are actually onto something? What if there really is a hidden city under Khafre's pyramid? What if the Hall of Records exists and is packed with secrets? Secrets that could change everything we know about ancient Egypt. History is full of examples of big discoveries being ignored, downplayed, or outright suppressed. Of course, this is the kind of thinking that keeps late-night radio shows in business, but admit it, a part of you wants it to be true. For now, Malanga's research hasn't been peer-reviewed, and until other scientists can confirm his findings, skepticism is the name of the game. Plus, the tech he used is cool but not infallible, and honestly, getting down there to check is easier said than done. Yet, there's something undeniably exciting about the idea. The pyramids have been around for 4,500 years. Who's to say they don't still have a few secrets? Until someone cracks open the earth beneath Khafre's pyramid, all we have are questions and a whole lot of speculation. Because if there's one thing ancient Egypt teaches us, it's that secrets are buried deep. Could the Hall of Records be one of those mythic treasures, or just another legend lost to time? We don't know yet, but that's the fun of it. Because whether it's ancient mysteries or modern conspiracies, sometimes the unknown is just as exciting as the truth.
That's crazy.
Hey.
So I'll
be interested in visiting that city. Really?
Yeah. We gotta go to Egypt. We gotta go to Egypt.
But before you start planning your own Indiana Jones adventure, there's a tiny problem. Most experts think it's complete nonsense. They see only exaggerated claims and a severe misunderstanding of radar technology. Most insist that this has been tried before using traditional methods like gravimetry and muon tomography. Those yielded nothing. It never showed anything close to an underground city.
But they're not going to let us go there. So we'll still be like the tourists and take pictures around the pyramid. Oh, I was in the pyramid.
But that's what they do, though. They let humans come see it. They let some people with, I guess, some level of, I don't know, security or whatever, or badge or whatever, explore it, you know. But then again, after exploration, they try to keep it also hidden.
Yeah. I'm like,
why would you do that?
I guess, you know, when it comes to their own culture, maybe they might like, oh, this is our culture, this is our ground.
So that's another thing for me, though. If it's that way,
give you everything.
Yeah, but if it's that way,
this is our history.
Yeah, even if it's their history, and if it's that way, then again, you know, the pyramid is nothing but the pyramid that we see.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah,
and for us to still want to explore, it's still okay for us to go explore and see what's behind it or what's beneath it or what keeps it running. And maybe we'll figure it out one day. But it's still an assumption out there. Everything.
Facto. Even they don't even know what the pyramid is.
It's still based on assumption. Everybody's just saying what they're saying. Mm-hmm. But you know what it is. It's JEJE Vibe. What you guys think about the whole pyramid talk? You believe that there are structures underneath? Drop a comment, let us know. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe to the channel.
We're out of here now.
It's JEJE Vibe.
The Great Pyramid of Giza is made up of over 1 million blocks of stone, and each one has a story to tell. It's hard to visualize the amount of work required for such an achievement, but every large block must have been a real job for the workers who cut it and set it into place.
The rectangle that's formed by this square minute is actually not a perfect square, because the latitude or north-south line is actually slightly shorter than the longitude or east-west line. So how does this relate to the Great Pyramid? Well, if you took 1 square minute of latitude and longitude and split it into 4 equal parts, the length of the latitude line would equal 3,022.940 feet, and the longitude line would equal 3,043.547 feet. Now, if you measure the perimeter of the pyramid without the socle, aka the shorter measurement, you'd get the exact same number of feet as the shorter latitude line to within 4 decimal points. And the same goes for the perimeter with the socle, which would give you the exact same distance as the longer longitude line with the same level of accuracy. So what does this even mean? It means that the pyramid itself is a scale model of planet Earth at the ratio of 1 to 43,200, meaning that if you were to make the pyramid 43,200 times bigger than it is, it would exactly equal the size of the northern hemisphere of the planet, and it would be accurate to within 300 feet. Now here's why this is absolutely bonkers. 300 feet is as accurate as you could possibly get, because the Earth has constantly shifting and moving forces that are randomly acting on the surface of it at any given point in time.
There are various tidal forces working on the Earth which are constantly causing it to distort its shape by up to 2 or 3 or 4 or 500 feet. So we never would be able to get more accurate than 300 or 400 feet because the Earth itself is changing shape. And if we were to measure it every year for the next 10 years, we would get 10 different numbers.
And as it turns out, this number, 43,200, is actually not random at all, nor is it a coincidence. Remember how I mentioned earlier that the 8 sides of the Great Pyramid are only visible on the equinox? Well, if you calculated the number of seconds in a day from sunrise to sunset, that number would be exactly 43,200 seconds. Seriously, do the math. Meaning that every 1/43,200th of a day, or exactly 2 seconds, the Earth rotates a distance that is exactly equal to the perimeter of the base of the Great Pyramid, and that's not all. The radius of the sun is 432,000 miles. The Earth wobbles on its axis exactly 1 degree every 72 years, a multiple of 432. And the inner chambers of the Great Pyramid have a resonant frequency that's in sync with the natural vibrations of the Earth. This resonant frequency is 432 hertz. So as you can see, whoever constructed it had an advanced understanding of math, astronomy, and Earth's geophysical properties, seamlessly incorporating this knowledge into every minute detail of the Great Pyramid.
The architects of the Great Pyramid of Giza knew the shape and size of the Earth and encoded that knowledge into their structure. The dimensions of the Great Pyramid, plus its cornerstones and socle, is 482.7575 feet tall and on average 760 feet on each side. Standing at the northeast corner of the Great Pyramid, we see the east and north base of the structure, which combined equals how much the planet rotates at its equator in 1 second. Using this second as defined by the Great Pyramid, we can determine that there are 86,400 seconds in the 24-hour day cycle. Now, if we were to take the Great Pyramid's dimensions, plus its socle and cornerstones, and expand the structure by 86,400 times, the east base plus the north base of the monument now equals the equatorial circumference of the equator of the planet, and the height of that giant pyramid now equals the polar diameter at a 99.9% level of accuracy. And this simple geometry produces the dimensions of the oblate spheroid Earth to a level of accuracy that rivals our modern-day satellite measurements. Here I will construct the golden ratio rectangle and use it to find the 51.5 degree slope angle of the Great Pyramid of Giza. Using the geometry of the golden rectangle, we find the 51.5 degree slope angle of the Great Pyramid of Giza. I will now construct the base square of the pyramid compared to its height. The square created by the perimeter of the base of the Great Pyramid compared to a circle whose radius is equal to the pyramid's height squares the circle with a 99.9% level of accuracy. We also find the size ratio between the Earth and Moon within the geometry of this remarkable monument.
The Great Pyramid is stunningly accurately aligned to true north, south, east, and west. It's actually within 3/60ths of a single degree of true north, and that is an incredible accurate alignment, especially when you're dealing with a monument with a footprint of 13 acres. It would be very hard to do it today. We probably could do it, but it would be difficult. And the architect would want to know, why? I mean, why do you want to do that? We can build you this amazing, huge monument, but must it really be within 3/60ths of a single degree of true north? That's making the problem really, really huge. So it tells us not only were astronomers involved to get that level of accuracy, but also that it was important to them. It really mattered to them.